All right, here we go for the SketchUp picture frame. I've gone to my website at 8th grade industrial technology and picked up SketchUp picture frame out of the sheets. And it's going to show me here how to work on the SketchUp picture frame. First thing it says is I need to choose a template, product design and woodworking inches. So I'm going to go up to product design and woodworking inches and hit start using SketchUp. Then these models are already done for me. So I'm going to go to the 3D warehouse and search RMS Han and get these models down. The 3D warehouse, I'll get these over into view here. 3D warehouse probably be underneath the fast forward here. Here's looks like the drop down arrow saying get models. Now I'm going to search RMS Han, H-A-H-N, hit search. And here's all my downloads. I'm going to come up until I find the one, I think it's on the second page. Picture frame parts right there. I'm going to hit download model, hit OK. We want to load it directly into the model. So here are all my picture frame parts. So we're through this part. We place it at the origin. Now we have to explode. While this is still selected, we have to explode it. If you've clicked off of this, we need to click back on it, edit, component 1 in model and explode, or you can right click on it and hit explode. Now I have individual components. We talked about this before. They're all highlighted yet, so if I do anything to one right now, they're going to all do it. But if I just hit escape twice, now I have individual components. Base, leg, top, 2 pegs, top and bottom peg, and my glass and my backer board. Next thing I have to do is change to X-ray. So I need to go View, Face Style, X-ray. What that's going to allow me to do is see inside the model into the inner geometry, because that's where we're going to be going after for all of our parts here. Okay, and we want to turn on parallel projection and front view. We want to move the top peg into the top. So I look here, I'm clicking on this edge, I'm clicking on the top of the top. So I'm going to move my top peg into the top corner there. Now I need to make a copy of it, so I need to hit the Option key. I'm going to pull it out and again move from the end point to the end point. So now I have the top pegs in the top, just the pyramid part is sticking out of the top and the rest of the peg is sticking out of the bottom. So that's looking right. Okay? Now we're going to make a group of this. We don't necessarily need to make a component, but we are going to glue these together in the shop, so we're going to make a group. So we're going to highlight the whole thing, right click, make group. Now this has kind of become its own component again, so I can't pull this stuff apart. If I did mess up on something I need to pull it apart, I just need to double click on it with the select tool and I can pull something apart, or I could right click, explode it, fix it, and then remake the group. Alright, now comes the bottom peg. So we got to that. Now we got to put the bottom peg in the bottom. So I'm going to slide over. And I know the top peg versus the bottom peg because the top peg has the pyramid, where the bottom peg right here has got a flat top. And I'm going to take this, and this is going to go into this square mortise. I can see it fits in there perfect. So I want to grab at a corner and place it at that corner in the mortise. Again, you don't want to place it down here or just try to grab it and kind of place it so it looks right. You want to grab at a corner and place it at that corner. And then we glue these together, so we're going to select them both. So I held down the Shift key and I can select both pieces, and again, make a group. Now I need 2 of these. I'm already through this portion. So I need 2 of these. Well, I guess I could put, it tells me to put it on first. So let's do that. Here's a big mistake that people do, is they grab onto this peg right at the bottom now and put them at the bottom of this mortise. If I look at it, that's wrong. Don't do that, because that leg is going down in there. There's a clearance built in there for all the sawdust and stuff that we can't get out. So we take it, we pull it off, and if I tip it this way, it's actually where this peg is coming into the bottom of the leg, goes onto that mortise. So if I look at it from the front, now the bottom of the leg's sitting on, and it's actually that peg is sitting not all the way down in that mortise. That is correct. That's the correct way. We need to do a duplicate of this peg, or this leg. So hit the Option key when I'm doing a move again. And now we have to do a rotate, because we got to flip this leg around. This rotate's kind of tricky. I'm not going to use this rotate. I'm going to use this move tool. And on the top surface, there's these 4 red little pluses. Those give me rotate areas. So I'm going to click on the plus, go 180, and click. And now I can move it back into position. I'm going to move it off so I can see it. And again, not the bottom corner here. Not here. Go up to that corner and put that on there. So if I go, I can check it, camera, standard views, front. I should be able to see the pegs going not all the way down in there. I can see the base, pegs don't go all the way, and I don't see any information here. If I move this down a little bit, you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, see, I can see that leg down in there. I don't want to see that. Also, I don't want to see a gap underneath there. All right, now this part gets glued together, so we're going to group it together. Make group. So we're to this point. Now it's time to get the top on. Again, this gets to be a tricky spot, but we'll get it figured out. I like to set the top close. Then I'm going to zoom in, and again, people try to grab this bottom of this peg and put it into the bottom there. If I go camera, standard views, front, again, the leg's going up into the top. That doesn't work. So it needs to be sitting sort of like on top like that, but we want to do it precise. So I'm going to orbit this a little bit. I'm going to move it off just so I can see what I'm doing. And it's actually at the bottom where this peg comes through the bottom. I can see a line where it's hitting that bottom surface of the top. If I flip it around this way, it's sometimes easier to see as well. So now I'm going to move where this peg's coming down through, right there. That corner goes to right there at that top of that mortise. Camera, standard views, front. Boom, I can see those pegs. There's some clearance in there, and that's looking correct. Okay? And we are going to do all of our exporting now. I actually don't care about putting the glass and the backer board in. These are the main things I care about because that's what we're looking at. We're going to shrink our window down so it looks like a piece of paper. Hit zoom extents. And I can actually erase these two so I can zoom extents it. Zoom extents. So it just gets my picture frame on there. I'm going to have you put your name in the middle with the ABC text tool. And then your hour. And I'm actually going to shrink this window down so it makes my name bigger. And then we're going to do our file, export, 2D graphic. I'm going to name it correctly, so my hour, log in, picture frame, and hit export. Again, what I'm checking for, I'm going to be looking at this gap right here. I'm going to make sure your peg is in the right spot. Make sure it's not going down here. There's no gaps here, no double lines. No gaps here, double lines on those views. If you have your view crooked a little bit, I'm going to send it back to you to get it regraded. If it's not fully done, I'm going to send it back to you to get it fixed and regraded. So make sure you're looking at that stuff right there. So no gaps and no top down into the leg, no gaps, no leg into the base. So we exported it as a 2D graphic. Again, file, export, 2D graphic, PNG, named it, exported onto my desktop. We're going to drag the picture in the email and let your parents and me know what you learned on this project. And you are done with creating the picture frame in SketchUp. Thank you very much.